what would be pretty exciting and pretty cool for a lot of people is that if LeBron came back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you see how that's a nice transition for you?
Beautiful.
Now, we talked about this yesterday. LeBron has made the summer about himself, and that's fine because nobody else in the NBA wants to make it about themselves. The NBA doesn't have stars like LeBron. Fine, go ahead. Welcome to it.
Yeah, better that than talking about torn ACLs and Achilles.
If you don't want LeBron James, fine. God bless you. If you're one of the guys in my mentions calling him LeBoob, or you're one of the guys who say, you know what, I'm just done, fine. The made-up basketball reasons, the flimsy basketball reasons, are either A, weak, or B, not founded in reality. The response that I'm getting that has anything to do with basketball that I don't think we realize just right now, and maybe this is the wrong focus, but I'm going to do it. I'm getting so many people going, you're trading the future of the Cavs for 1 year of the Cavaliers, for 1 year with LeBron. And my answer to that is, if he hasn't already announced his retirement, and he may very well do it after he were to be traded, but if he's not announced his retirement, that means I'm probably getting 2 years of LeBron, for better, for worse, because he'll announce his retirement, so you have these other teams that get ready for his goodbye tour, his farewell tour, and he can go out there and stand before the game and accept some gift and all that other stuff we talked about a million times with the owners. But I think that people really are overlooking how short a time frame you have with this current Cavs team. Like, I had people in my mentions yesterday. Twitter reactions brought to you by Shibe and Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store, 7:33 and 7 seconds for those counting at home. Ken, you're foregoing the next decade of Cavs basketball for a year of LeBron. And I'm thinking, do they know Donovan Mitchell's 28 years old? He'll be 29 to start this season. He'll be 31 when his players right. He'll be 30 right before his player option starts. So going into that season, he'll be 31. Like, we understand we have 2 years with this iteration as it is. 2. Like, you're running against a clock regardless. Because a guy like Donovan, if you can't get to where you need to go here in the next couple of years, this is a man, you could say a lot of things about him that aren't true. Everybody knows he's obsessed with winning a championship. If you can't get to an NBA Finals with this group in the next 2 years, I think he's going to go. And so that speeds up this clock because he's obsessed with winning a championship. And in the next 2 years, hey, I can make all the arguments I want for Donovan or for Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen right now, even though they're becoming flimsier and flimsier and flimsier by the day. I have a lot of hope in the future of Evan Mobley. In 2 years, I think Donovan Mitchell's going to know I can do this with him or I can't do this with him. And some way, one way or the other, it's going to go. And he may go. Now, you would pray by that time that Evan Mobley's ready to take the reins, and maybe he will be. But regardless of the move, you're keeping Evan Mobley. Whether you keep this core as it is, or you ship out one or two of these guys for somebody else, or you do it for LeBron and make all the salary work, you're keeping Evan Mobley. So when I'm talking about the future, what's the future? Darius Garland, half of you argue with me and call me an idiot for even wanting him around because I think that this is still the most realistic way. But when it comes to LeBron James, you're saying we're giving up the next decade of basketball. I think regardless, we have 2 years left.
Not only that, you're talking about just from Donovan, where he wants to go with his career, where he wants to shape his legacy.
If they win.
Contingent on the playoffs. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's one way to look at it. The other way, and this is the inconvenient truth of this new, it basically functions like a hard cap, and this second apron, is it's going to be hard for teams to keep 2 max players and build a team around them. It's going to be impossible to keep 3. And Donovan Mitchell, after the next 2 years, he's going to be eligible for an extension that takes him up over $70 million a year. Darius Garland is eligible for an extension right now that in 2027 takes him near $50 million. And I haven't even mentioned Evan Mobley, who in 2027 is already at $54 million. Impossible. One of those guys is gone.
My God.
One of those guys physically has to be gone because you cannot field a basketball team. So
that's in 2 years?
That's after we've got 2 years.
Yeah.
We've talked about 2 year window.
Yeah.
The following year is when these extensions kick in. So it would be, no matter how much money Dan Gilbert has, it's about being able to field a basketball team with the restrictions and all the different rules that you can't violate. Guys, mark my words, no matter what, even healthy, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley will not be playing together in the 2027 year. So this window, you made a great case on why, just for a bunch of basketball reasons, it's a 2 year window. Monetarily and cap-wise, it has to be a 2-year window. So fans need to start understanding that and then think about all the decisions that the Cavs have to make around that, surrounding all that information, knowing that the next 2 years is absolutely vital. And I would say even beyond that, just next year. Next year is the biggest year ever.
Lonzo Ball was practicing at the Cavs facility yesterday, and he spoke to the media. And I also have some audio from him on the Cavs What an Experience podcast. He's very excited to be in Cleveland. And this is what he had to say. This is the What an Experience podcast.
Okay.
I feel like it's just a blessing, bro, to be honest. I mean, everybody keep asking me how I feel about the trade, how you feel about the trade. I'm like, I'm happy to still be playing anywhere, let alone a team that has a real chance to, win a ring.
And then this is Lonzo Ball yesterday talking to the media at the Cavs facility.
Obviously, we know how good the Cavs are, how good they've been in the past. And I think that this year we have a great chance to go for it all. And that's really all I'm focused on.
So does that make you feel a little bit better about the Cavs? Because I know the exit was rough. That, losing to the Pacers was really, really rough. But now you're hearing someone who's essentially an outsider, right? Because this is his first time playing for the Cavs. It's essentially an outsider perspective, talking about how great the Cavs are. It's a title contender. Like, I'm here to win. We can win. Does this make you feel better?
Well, let me pass it off to Lima here for a second, because you asked a question as well. Like, what kind of fan are you when you get a player who is often injured? Are you excited for the possibilities of bringing that guy in as a diamond in the rough, or are you just hoping to get whatever you can out of him?
Look, the thought of Lonzo Ball, his size, his playmaking, if he can shoot it a little better than he did last year, where he's obviously coming off terrible injury and then had the wrist injury all year, the thought is great. I mean, if that guy, if they can bubble wrap him and get him into the playoffs, I think he instantly has a chance to be one of the better playoff performers for them. I just don't have a high expectation that he's going to get to the finish line. That's the unfortunate part, Alonzo Ball. But, I'm to the point too, Ken, where this is the team. Like, they're not moving off. Like, we went through all the emotions like we did the following year and the year before that about whether or not to shake up the core. They're not going to shake up the core, or the deal wasn't there for them to shake up the core. So this is their team. So I have to be excited about Lonzo Ball and obviously Larry Nance Jr. Again, if he can stay healthy, two guys that you haven't been able to rely on staying healthy. If they can, I think you do have a nice, well-rounded basketball team. But it does seem to me like the first reason everybody is giving to not shake up the core has to do more with how bad the Eastern Conference is. And that makes me nervous.
I don't think I can
rely
just
on everybody else.
I can't just rely on everybody else.
Because we did that the year
being
before,
bad.
and then we got bit by the Pacers out of nowhere, and nobody thought the Pacers. Could that be the Magic a year from now, who we know already plays us tough?
Bingo. You mean you got to take care of yourself. You can't just worry about other people failing.
Well, that brings me to my next question, because the Pacers did confirm yesterday that Tyrese Halliburton will be out for all of next season with that torn Achilles that he suffered in the NBA Finals. Do you think the Pacers can win without Tyrese Halliburton?
Win what?
No.
Games
Anything.
Oh, they can go, I think they can go to playoffs.
How deep can they make it back to the finals?
Yeah.
Do they have a shot at winning the finals without him?
Absolutely
Zero.
No.
Right. So you're talking about the health of the East. So now all of a sudden you're looking at this and saying, well, now you're going to have the Pacers without Halliburton. You might need to worry about the Magic, like you brought up. I believe they just extended Paolo Banchero, gave him a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're looking at this and saying, well, the Pacers don't have a shot at winning the finals without Tyrese Halliburton, that should clear up the path a little bit more for the Cavaliers,
if you
right?
if you got to keep.
But does that mean we're any more? Does that mean we're any more of a championship caliber team?
No. Well, do you get to go to the finals? And then do you have it? Like, I think that would vindicate a lot of the anti-LeBron people if you get to go to the finals. So if you just get to the finals, that's fine. That would be vindicating. But God, if you do not get to the Eastern Conference Finals again, or you get upset by one of these teams and everybody thinks you're going to be better than them, heaven help you. The only thing I would say is you don't know for sure if there was ever anything in the water about LeBron James. But if there was, a lot of those people are going to be going the other way who are arguing against it right now.